Hey guys, just making a quick guide here on how to beat Baigan in Baron's Castle. I've heard a lot of people have trouble with this. I know I had a lot of trouble playing the first time through. In the Japanese version, I actually gave up and came back after I'd cleared a lot more content and just blew through it then. But I did find a really good way to clear this, so I'm sharing this with you guys. Um, just a quick note before I get started. In the Japanese version, it has about half the HP of the English version. So in the Japanese version, the arms have about 10,000 life, and Baigan's body has about 17,000 life. So in the English version, we can assume that that's doubled. I don't know that for sure, but if you want to test it for yourself, all you have to do is start the battle, like what I'm doing right now. You can just start the battle, focus down one arm, tally up the damage as you go along, and figure out how much HP one arm has. And then you'll close the app, restart the battle, do the same thing for the body, and then you can establish how much HP each part has. And then you can still apply the same strategy that I'm going to show you, just with higher HP amounts. Now, to try to handicap to compensate for this, I've got a pretty low level mediocre party. I'm only level 30. You probably should have, even in the Japanese version, level 40s. Not very good abilities, no 5-star anything, no synchroed anything except Tella is synchroed. So we'll give it a go here. We'll see if we can't help you guys out. So I set the speed all the way down because you need the reaction time. So basically, the core strategy is going to be destroy one arm as fast as possible. I go for his right arm because he can blind my melees, and you really don't want him blinding your power breaker because you'll just eat tons of damage. So I'm going to power break his body and focus down his right arm. That's the first step. So like I said, he's got about 10,000. His arms have about 10,000 HP. So we'll burst it down real quick. I'll speed it up just a little bit. So I just power broke his body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here. And I've actually got a notepad here. And I'm going to write down 16,000. So he has 16,000 left. And as I do damage to his remaining arm and his body, I'm going to slow it back down. As I do damage, I'm going to tally that up so I know when the time comes how much life he has to burst him down. So again, we're just going to focus his arm. And now that his body is broken, you don't really need to power break his other arm. His body does a lot more damage than his arm, so you don't need... I would save the power breaks for his body, just because when he's not power broken, he does about 800 to 900 damage a hit, but with power break, it's much, much easier. Okay, so his first arm is down. So now what I like to do is I'll get his existing arm down to ideally under 1,000 hit points. And I do that, of course, by every time I do damage. All right, so 1,200 damage, so he's got about 8,800 damage, or HP, left. And this is basically what I'm going to do down to just under 1,000. So 2,100. And this is why I slow the battle down, because you need time in these kind of battles. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to miss, oh, how much damage was that? Because that can be the difference between doing this correctly and completely botching it. So 5.3. And sorry I'm pausing a lot, but like I said, if you want to do this right and you want to get the master clear, this is, at low levels. If you don't want to wait like I did, if you don't want to wait to come back and you want to clear it now, then this is kind of the best way, I think, to do it. Maybe not the only way, but certainly I think a very good way. So 3.3. So he's got just over 3,000 HP left. So I need to power break his body again. Okay. So with that, he's just over 1,000 damage. That's enough I'd like to be a little bit lower than that, but that's one blizzard to kill that. So now I can focus on his body. So see, his attacks do a lot less damage. Okay, so I just power broke his body again. So he's down to about 15,000. So this, I'll just continue this until, okay, so there's 600. Okay, 13.4. And sometimes, you know, a battle just doesn't go your way. There's nothing wrong with restarting it and giving it another go. You know, I actually think I might have taken too low of a party for this, but I've cleared it once already with the same party, so I'm going to try to do it again. It's definitely possible, but you know, sometimes luck just doesn't go your way. So he's got just over, he's got about 10,500 left. Okay, so you got now just under. So unfortunately, Teller becomes pretty useless at this point, but he's a lot more useful in the next fight. So again, you really need to keep track of the amount of damage you're putting out. Okay, so there's another 1,200, and again, I'm writing this down, pausing it. And this will continue until we get him down to about, ideally, you know, under 1,000 hit points, because then it just makes everything, it makes bursting him down a lot easier. So he's at about 6.7. Now this is not exact. Sometimes, you know, you mess up or whatever. I mean, that's fine. But, you know, even if you have a bit of trouble, if you go back and level a bit, or you know, don't have power break, if you come back with power break, I mean, a lot of times something like that is the difference between a master clear and getting annihilated. So, you know, it's not always a bad thing having to go back and kind of power yourself up a little bit before coming in. Okay, so that was 13, so he's at probably about 3,500. So I need to power break him again because he's hit me pretty hard. Okay, so there's another 1,000, so he's probably down to about 2.5. So I'm going to try to get him down under 1,000, and then I'll pause it and I'll kind of explain the rest of the process. And like I said, these abilities I'm using, they're pretty mediocre. They're not very good. I'm not even hitting that hard. I'm sure a lot of you guys can hit harder than what I'm putting up. So okay, we'll do one more attack. And then what we're going to do is we'll wait. All right. So at this point, he's probably his body's probably one or two more hits from dying. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll let everybody's gauge get full, assuming, you know, you got the HP and stuff to do it. And this is where power break really helps. And what I'll do is I'll cast Blizzard on the arm immediately after his body has attacked, because that gives you a window to burst his body down before he regenerates his limbs. So Blizzard on his arm, and then all of my melees, I throw everything I have on his body to get his body down before, like I said, before he regenerates his limbs. So we'll wait for him to attack. Okay. So, and then this is what we're going to do. So we're going to burst all this. And there you go. That's how you do it. So like I said, it may take a couple of tries. To be honest, this was not my first try, but I did clear it once before. That's how you do it. And, I mean, I took a lot of damage. Took me a while, but this is how you'll get a master clear. And then, after that, the other boss, it's very, very straightforward, very simple. The Baigan is, I think, where everybody gets stuck. So, again, sorry. It's a bit of a long video. It's a bit methodical. It's a lot of pausing, a lot of stuff like that. But try this setup, see if it works. If it doesn't, tweak it a bit. But I definitely think, like I said, this, look, I mean, 30, 32. My average level was 30. And they're all crap characters. They're not even main characters like Cloud or Rydia and stuff like that. So give that a try, and let me know if that works for you guys, or any other dungeons you guys are having trouble with. Let me know. I'll try to set up something as a guide to get through that. So hope that helps. Take care.